applies for Britain, the same thing applies for America. But now hell from beneath is come up to meet thee at that coming, meaning to say you're gonna have a fast crash course, okay, crash landing, so you can understand, man. And that's what's happening to this place. They're fast falling, okay, they're falling fast, okay, right? You look at the economy, the music, all of that, they're just falling, man. So Isaiah 14:10 it says, and they that speak and they shall speak. Okay, Isaiah 14:10 it says, and they shall speak and say unto thee, how art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become likened unto us? And that's a very important thing within the times that we're living in right now, in the times when you go to where Iran is getting nuclear weapons. Okay, they're getting a nuclear arsenal and military equipment from Russia. That's very important. When you got Russia boosting up their so-called alliances with these regional provinces, okay, existential regional provinces, and everybody's, you know, going to Russia's aid, and Russia's providing them with the military, and everybody's getting strong. Now they're looking at America, it's like, look, you can become as weak as we are, okay? Because we can take you on. Now we can't take you on with your aircraft carriers, but look, once we press that button and we hit a strategic place, you're done, you're through, okay? So they're saying, look, now you'll become as weak as we are. Now we're going to move with our own agenda. And that's going to faster have it to where the American rule, the hegemony, is going to be faster threatened. But we also know through the scriptures that they're going to try and maintain it. And through trying to maintain it, you was going to have World War III. Okay? So that pump is brought down to the grave, so that thing of, okay, Trump's going to go up in there and he's going to quell the situation. Now you can't do that no more. Now you could do that within Bush era. Okay? You could do that within Daddy Bush era, okay? Ronald Reagan era, you could do that. But right now, Trump can't go out there into them countries and just announce war like that. You would have the Russians backing them. Hell, they've wanted Syria for the longest time, okay? To give it to where, pretty much to have it to where Israeli rule is going to have Syria. They wanted Syria for the longest amount of time, and they couldn't get Syria because why? Because the pump of America, which comes from their military convention, okay, right? Which comes from that, they don't have that no more like that. You had the Russians rise up and they're doing their own thing. Hell, you go to a part of NATO, which is Germany. They don't even really want to be a part of that so-called hegemony, man. And no pun intended. They don't really want to be a part of that whole shtick of having NATO just run the world like that. The Germans just want to make cars and eat sausages, man. That's what the Germans want to do. They want to chill and do their own thing, man. So you had it to where Trump said, "Boy, look, man, you Germans, you're slowing the program down, man. Okay, you're slowing the program down." But as for the other nations, okay, as for these different other nations, well, they go into the backing of the Russians. That's pursuant to the book of Ezekiel. What is it? I forget the 38th chapter, the 39th chapter. I forget. They go into the backing of the Russians, and the Russians are having it to where they're looking out at America, saying, "Look, man, you ain't nothing, man. Okay, you ain't got it like that." Okay, so that pump is brought down to the ground, right? The noise of thy vows, the worm is spread underneath thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from the ground, O Lucifer, O son of the morning, which is talking about the Illuminati. Okay? People say, oh, Lucifer, that's talking about the spiritual. Look, man, the spiritual demon Satan works for the Most High. Okay? The spiritual demon Satan works for God. Okay? That's why he's called the Most High. He's above good and evil. He is above righteousness and unrighteousness. That's why he can create righteousness and unrighteousness. That's why the scripture says that I, the Lord, create all of these things. Yea, the light, the darkness, the wickedness, and the evil, and the righteous. The Lord creates all of them different things, man. Because he's above righteousness and unrighteousness. He's above good and evil. He's beyond it. He's in another dimension beyond that. If you was a one-dimensional creature, you can't understand two dimensions. So the same thing applies for us with reference to the Most High. That's why the scripture says that his ways are higher than our ways, because he's in a realm where he can say to Satan, look, this is what you're going to do within the earth. And he can say to the righteous angels, this is what you're going to do within the earth. Okay? So this scripture ain't talking about Satan, because that will make the Most High, that would make the Most High on equal par with Satan. That's why these scriptures are bugged out, man. That's why these Christians are bugged out, because they put Satan and the Most High on equal footing. Like Satan's coming up fighting against the Most High. Come on, man. That means he's not the Most High. Okay? So 12th verse. How that fallen from the heaven, O Lucifer? Now you got the understanding of that. The light bearer, the Illuminati, the so-called Jews that run this country, okay, that bear the information. Because you go to certain libraries out there, like in Rome, you can't just access certain books like that, okay? Because those books, how you doing? Those books was going to reveal the truth about who the Israelites are, okay? Those books was going to reveal the understanding of who the Edomites are. All of this information that they've been hiding for years, because they're the light bearer. They're Lucifer upon the face of the earth, okay? And the scripture says Lucifer is coming down to the ground, man, all right? And the noise of thy voice, sorry, what am I reading? How that fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, from that principle. So when they was doing good, okay, when they were setting up chariots within the skies and they were, you know, setting up a space program, they was doing all right. They was balling. They was doing good, okay? But now they got it to where that they're not even sending out there any more space programs, because really when you go into the understanding of why they did that, that was with reference to what the scripture says, that if you was able to count the stars out there within the skies, then the Most High was going to do away with Israel. So they sent out chariots out in there into the skies. What did they find out? It's just too perpetual. It's impossible to count. So they gave up on that and they just worked on projects more closer to home in terms of destroying Israel by influencing the music that we listen to, the TV that we're watching, and the food that we eat. But see, the Most High still has it to where a bugged out Jake like myself can come into the understanding that he's an Israelite and stand up and come out and teach other fellow Israelites, man. So going to show you that what? The power of the Most High is way beyond anything that Esau could ever create, man. And the scripture says that what? Fear not him that can kill the flesh, because Esau can send up one of those laser beams and kill me. But see, my spirit will continue forever, because why? Because only the Most High can destroy the spirit. Hell, Esau might have it too, and the scripture tells you about that. How certain Edomites would have killed, or put it else, really it was Jake. Okay, they would have killed, they put their hands on their prophets, okay, and killed the prophets. Well, the Lord did that, okay? And the Lord, the Most High had it to where that person just was brought back to life, man, because that spirit still existed. So the Most High just had to fire up the flesh again, man, and that person stood up on their feet and got back to doing what? Go back to teaching the word. When the Lord died, what happened? He died, okay, he went up to the spiritual realm, chilled for a couple of days, came back, boom, back to teaching the word again, okay? So let's get back onto the scriptures now. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I'll exalt my throne above the stars in the Most High, and I'll sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Okay, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I'll be like the Most High. And that's what this guy's wanting to do. GMO foods. Okay, now he wants to go into you got GMO men now that want to be women now. Okay, that's genetically modified. That's off. That's against the scriptures. Okay? Right? But that's what this man wants to do. He wants to be as the Most High. So he wants to control what sex you can give to. For this man, you can go to this. That's how you know a lot of these Israelites, this is their God. Okay? That's why the scripture says what it says within the book of Luke 19 and 27. Okay, I believe it's Luke 19 and 27. I can get it though. Okay, if it's not Luke 19 and 27, I'll quote it. Okay? I don't know if that's the other one, but it says I forget it, but it says your father, which is the devil, pretty much, which was talking about Jake, okay, and how that Jake, and that goes to show you that Jake, their father is Esau, their God is Esau, and because Esau allows them to do anything that they want, because now Esau's got the technology to do that, okay. So let's go back onto the scripture here. It says yeah, that shall be brought down to hell. And that's where people go crazy. They'll say, oh, that's talking about what? That's talking about that spiritual demon Satan. No, this is talking about the grave, man. Esau was going to be brought down to a low level, lower state. And then that transpires into what it says in the next bit. It says, to the sides of the pit. Well, hell and the sides of the pit ain't the same thing. Must be talking about something else. Okay? They that see thee shall not rarely look upon thee and consider, is this the man that made the whole earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? Okay, and here end of the reading, so you can understand. So pretty much you're gonna have Esau, okay, the elite banking families, the so-called Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, okay, the so-called Jews that run the earth right now. Their rule is dwindling upon the face of the earth right now, okay, and they know that through the teachings of this word, okay, the teaching and the understanding that the Israelites was gonna get by way of the prophets being set up, by way of the prophets teaching this word out here, okay, that was going to happen to where their kingdom was going to be what? It's going to be not shortened, but it was going to be faster falling. Okay, and that's the times we're living in right now. That's why it's like the scripture says within the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, okay, hell from beneath thee is removed to meet the thy coming. Okay, now when you go into the other parts of the scriptures, what was it saying? Okay, they were saying that what? The side, you was going to be brought down to hell, he was going to be brought down to the sides of the pit. Okay, all right, he was going to be brought to that low place. And when you really understand and you put the spirit of visualization into that particular precept, into that, what the scripture says there, then you really understand that that's talking about Esau in hardcore captivity, man. Okay, that's talking about Esau in hardcore captivity, and that's something that's actually going to play out within the future. Okay. And all of these different nations going to look upon Esau and say, look, this is the man that made the whole earth to tremble. Okay? So with that, I'm going to say, oh, praise unto Yahweh, Shemi outside, double honor to the apostle, great millstone. Lord's will I get to do this again. Okay, shalom.